All right, good evening. Turn this microphone down here, the speaker down. A little after 9:30 on this Monday night. Give us some good news. I've got some good news. Tomorrow's going to be really nice. We'll be talking about that. The bad news is I can't get the comments thing to show up here. So you guys are going to have to talk amongst yourself in the screen over here. Carl Prather may do a cameo. He's been so busy doing sports today. I think we have had signing day and stuff like that going on, but we may pull him in here later. We'll see. I'll probably hear him out there. I'll know his presence. Let's get into your forecast here. I'm going to talk about what we're expecting over the coming days, and it's starting to look and trend a little bit wetter, especially in the shoals as we go into Sunday late afternoon and evening. It's something we're watching. It's not quite set in stone yet. And we got Adam watching from Fort Payne. But tonight, it's clear, it's cool. It's going to be a chilly night out there. No surprise there. East Limestone's at 58. And area temperatures, pretty much where we expect them to be right now. That sounds like a cafeteria out there. So we're like 58 in Huntsville, 60 in Tuscaloosa, it's 60 in Auburn. So it's not much warmer the farther south you go. In fact, if I put my glasses on, I'll be able to tell you what the temperature is in Evergreen. I'm guessing it's 56. Yes, it's 56 there and Meridian. So quite a cool air mass out there. There may be just a touch of frost, very light touch of frost in the sheltered valleys in far northeast Alabama and up closer to the Cumberland Plateau. We got Donna watching for Phil Campbell tonight. Grace back on here tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this is something we do at 9:30 every night, Monday through Friday. Chelsea will do this at 4:30 on the weekend. I'll be here this weekend, though, it looks like. So I'll be doing it this weekend at 4:30. Weather permitting, of course. And then we've got, I think Jeff's on at 8:30 in the morning, and then Eric does this at 10:30 in the morning. So again, we got everything covered here. We're going to be doing a lot more digital stuff. I'll just let you know that. As we take a look down here to the south in Florida, nice, warm, and muggy. Nassau, it's that time of year. Once the sun sets, the temperatures don't change much in the Bahamas. Man, I want to be there right now. Yes, and Adam's on time tonight. So as we take a look at the air mass to the south, that's slowly moving north, but a complete contrast. How about this? Lake effect snow continues to go on in the Great Lakes. It's been a rough season at Buffalo. It's still snowing. They have been stuck. They have been left out of spring. So if they had a meme, it would say spring is still loading. Oh, did I say it's Monday? It felt like Monday because I did my taxes today. And I spent a good 4.5 hours grinding on my taxes. I went through, and it's that time of year where you go back and you look at every credit card statement, every checking account statement to see everything I missed. See, my wife retired last year, in the middle of the year, and we changed insurance. And my insurance here, I got on the wrong insurance, so it was really horrible because I had to come up with like a $15,000 deductible. And Brenda had surgery on her back. So anyway, we saved money on insurance by having all insurance claims this year. So again, I wasn't looking forward to it. It turned out better than last year. Last year, I owed Uncle Sam a lot of money. And I didn't really particularly like that, but that's just kind of the way it goes. You know, it's always like I'll put in my salary, and then I put in my wife's salary, who was a teacher, and then it just changes the tax bracket. So. Now that she's retired, we don't worry about that as much. So again, I really hate doing taxes. And they should pay you for the time you spend doing your taxes. I just wish it was even tax or something, flat tax, right? Anyway, we got on a tangent there. We do that every now and then. It's still snowing in Buffalo, by the way, and it's going to be cool there again tomorrow. But that's why I don't live in Buffalo. Believe it or not, my choice to come down to Huntsville was either Binghamton, New York. This was back in 1996. It was Binghamton, New York, or Huntsville, Alabama. And Binghamton wanted to hire me without going there to visit for an interview. And Brenda, who was my girlfriend at the time, said, it's too cold in Binghamton, New York. And I said, yeah, you're right. So it was Huntsville, Alabama. Anyway, we've been here almost 30 years now. Here's tonight's forecast, 41 degrees, a calm wind, clear and chilly, as I mentioned earlier. Fayetteville checking in, also Decatur. Kim from Decatur checking in tonight. And 6:15 sunrise tomorrow. Yeah, they can keep that snow, Adam. You know, I like snow until it's on the ground and then it turns brown and then it's just there all season. And again, I like my 80-degree days. Even though our weather can be a little bit bipolar sometimes, I don't mind, you know, going from the 80s. That's what made me interested in weather in the first place, is the ever-changing weather. I didn't want a boring job. I actually worked at Benny and Smith at a Crayola crayon factory back in college. That was my big job, and it paid $10 an hour. And back in 1993, that's a lot of money. And I still live with my parents. But anyway, that was a summer job. And I realized from that point on, I did not want to sit at an assembly line and do the same thing over and over and get carpal tunnel syndrome. And when I left that job, everyone was like, man, you'll be back. You're going to hate leaving. And I was like, no, I'm not. My whole plan was to go to the weather service, but then they had a hiring freeze. But anyway, these are some stories I'll save for my podcast when I start that. 70 degrees tomorrow, a calm wind, sunny, and we'll just call it nice. A lot less wind. And someone says, what about our weather? Well, we get off on a tangent every now and then. 70 tomorrow. Funny you should ask. Tomorrow's high 70. It's going to be nice. Very light winds. This was looking back here at 6 o'clock this evening. You can see how fast the temperatures dropped. And here we are around 9:45. And we're pretty much right on the low 50s. And we're going to see those 40s showing up. And we're going to fall into the upper 30s in some spots, as you'll see here in a second. The areas we're most concerned with, and I say concerned, I say that loosely, a touch of frost. And the only reason I say this is because if something happens, I'm going to get blamed for the frost. But again, the sheltered valleys, those low spots in Jackson County, we may see a touch of frost over there. It should be the last one, but I said that this weekend, didn't I? I think it will be the last one this time. Again, it's going to be really light. So we go to the noon hour tomorrow, about like we were today, but nicer because that wind's going to be a lot lighter. If you're going out on area lakes, tomorrow morning it's going to be calm. May want to watch out for a little bit of fog on area lakes, but other than that, no other big issues. We'll top out around 70 tomorrow, and then we're going to see a few high clouds moving right around sunset, so that should provide a really nice sunset out there. Here's one thing you've been seeing in the sky. It looks a little hazy out there, but it's pollen. A lot more hummingbirds coming out. We're finally going to get some of that real spring humidity that hangs around. So make sure you got your hummingbird feeders ready, and just save yourself some money and make your hummingbird food at home. There's plenty of recipes on there. Make it clear. Avoid the red dye, or you'll get chastised on social media if you post your picture of your hummingbird feeder with red dye in it.
That seems personal.
I know from personal experience. But anyway, that's how that goes. So again, high tree pollen, probably through the second week of May, and then it gets better. Then we move on to grass pollen as we get into, and it all depends on what you're allergic to. Here's your 3-day forecast. We're going to go 70 degrees tomorrow, 77 Thursday, 81 Friday, which is Good Friday, and it's going to be a great Friday out there. Going to run this quick 1-minute commercial, and then I'll be right back. That break was faster than I thought. I'm going to go ahead and, I was actually looking at a few other things in here. We'll go to the desk cam, and I'm going to try to add some of your comments on here. We'll see what happens. Some of these may be from earlier. There we go. Patricia says she enjoys this. So we can have a little story time after the break. Yeah, I put you guys through that. Man, we lost like 30 people on the commercial break, too. Yeah. Somebody's actually here in time. Pollen needs to wash away. Someone says that the hummingbirds like Jack Daniels. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I want to try that one. But yeah, so again, I'd like to share some of your comments here. It's called Weather Extra, so we give you a little bit of extra weather here. We talked about the 3-day forecast going to break. Now let's talk about that next chance of rain. And it's coming our way probably late Sunday. We're going to get into this in a second. Then we're going to take a look at your 10-day forecast. And then I'm going to go update the radio stations for tomorrow. And we'll get you all back to your regular scheduled program. Easter Sunday, again, started out looking awesome and amazing, just a few clouds. But now storms are trying to ruin the party here, so to speak, as we get later into the day Sunday. I think the morning hours will be fine. Sunrise at 6:08. I think we're going to have an overcast sky. The humidity is going to be high, so it'll be comfortable. You can wear the short pants out there for Easter Sunday morning, unless you've got your Sunday best on. See, I'm kind of purpling up here, trying to match my Easter card there. As we go through the Sunday morning time frame, it's cloudy, it's muggy. We're in the 60s. And then we turn those into 70s, and we're probably going to hit the low 80s. It all depends on when this rain moves in. I'm showing you the European model because it's not as aggressive as the GFS model. I tend to go less aggressive on models returning rain after we've had such a dry spell, especially when there's no significant storm system coming in. This is going to be a frontal boundary that kind of comes in and lays down, and the farther west you are, the more likely you are going to see some showers and thunderstorms. Some of these are going to be strong anytime next week. Don't get me wrong there. Severe threat, I can't rule out a few severe thunderstorms, but main threat would be some hail potentially, lightning and strong gusty winds. But this does not look like a severe weather outbreak setup. But as we go into the Sunday night, this area slowly moves east. Here's your 10-day forecast. 77 Thursday. I'm kind of avoiding Wednesday, even though it's going to be a nice day. It's just not as warm. Better than today, though. 81 on Good Friday, 83 degrees Saturday, and Sunday, 81. And again, chances for rain, don't be surprised if those start to increase over the coming days. We definitely have more rain off and on again throughout much of next week. So next week will be the opposite of this week. This week's been sunny, pretty, and nice, a little windy today, but next week's going to be periods of clouds, scattered showers and thunderstorms. You may get an hour or two inconvenienced out there, but we're going to need those April showers for those May flowers. But I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I got to get ready for the 10 o'clock news, plus do the radio updates. You guys take care.